So, good evening, everybody. So, this is the first session of GYPSE, that is Global Youth Program for Social Exchange, and so this platform was initiated by ADORE to basically bring youths across different countries and to get to know better about different cultures and get to know each other better and inculcate mutual respect and understanding amongst youths. So, like just today, we have students from Nepal, UAE, Taiwan, India. So, all of this initiative is to inculcate respect, understanding amongst our youth and students as well. So, today's session is handled by Mary and Abigail. They're going to talk more about Nigeria today. So we'll get more knowledge and insight about Nigeria, the country, and their cultures as well. So the first part of the session, they'll be talking about their country and their cultures. After that, we'll have an interactive session where you can ask questions, we can have a conversation, and have a good time and impart knowledge as well. So I welcome all of you to the first session, and Mary, you can start the session.
Oh, thank you so much, everyone. We are so excited to join from the Nepal to know about the multicultures. We are so glad to be participants. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anu ma'am. It's an honor to have you and all your students be a part of this, ma'am. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
we also feel very glad that we are being able to participate in such type of programs. Every timing you have selected to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Mary and Abigail, you can start the session.
Okay, thank you so much. While we're waiting for Abigail, she has some connection issues, so probably she will join us later on. Okay, is that okay? Nice to meet everyone. I'm so happy to meet every one of you. So I believe, although this might not be 100% information that you need, but just details of what the country is. So Nigeria, it's a country in Africa. So you should know that Nigeria is a country in Africa, and it has over 200 million population. Yeah. So, and most people live in the city, although there are other people too that, stay in rural areas. Mostly the city that harbors or contains more people is Lagos. So Lagos is not the capital of Nigeria. The capital of Nigeria is Abuja. Can you hear me? Yes. So the capital of Nigeria is Abuja. And for the main industry in Nigeria, we have petroleum industry, we have tourism, we have agriculture, mostly, yeah. So although there are other means of communication and transportation, but for the, let's say, popular one, mostly by land, we don't really use train here, but we use road, that's cars. Also, another means of transportation is by air and also by sea. I said before that the capital of Nigeria is Abuja. So, and it is situated or located in the middle of the country. If you're looking at cities, like we have major cities like Lagos, Abuja, we have Port Harcourt, we have Aba, we have Calabar. So all these major cities are always very boisterous. And when I mean boisterous, I mean they are very lively, full of people. You know what I mean? Yeah. So although many people love coming to the city, to the boisterous city, majorly for jobs, yeah, because there are more jobs opportunities compared to other rural areas. So there are also special attractions when you talk about Lagos and other mega cities. We have national theaters, we have museums, we have conservative centers, and many more. So for our sports, we have so many sports, but the major sports that is mostly involving youths, I would say soccer, or popularly known as football. I guess we all know football or soccer, whatever the name might be, right? Okay, so we have football, and we all know that football is made up of two teams. Yeah, so that is one of the most popular sports in Nigeria. Then we also have, there's another sport that is being, or there's a traditional sport. It's called Dugbe. Now this sport is, although it's no longer common, it's from the north. In Nigeria, we have the northern part, we have the southern part, we have the eastern part, and we also have the western part. So for the northern part, this comprises of people that speak Hausa language. For the eastern part, they speak Igbo language. For the western part, that also comprises of other ethnic groups. And for the southern part, they speak a popular dialect known as Yoruba. But for all these four languages, three languages I mentioned, these are the three common languages. I hope you're all following. Can we all hear me?
Yeah,
Can you all
man.
hear me? Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right. So we have three major languages, but each of these languages is divided into other minute languages. We have over 500 languages in Nigeria. But those three are the most popular one, the most common one. But wherever you go to, we also have what we know as Pidgin English. So Pidgin English is part of English. If someone is speaking Pidgin English to you, you might be wondering, what is she talking about? You just be picking a bit of English, but you might not understand it fully. Yeah, but Pidgin English is mostly spoken by a set of people in Nigeria, but because of its effectiveness in communication, most people use it for communication if they are not using English. And depending on the state you are in, if you are in Lagos, for example, Lagos is made up of Yoruba people. So it's just normal when you get to Lagos and you start speaking Yoruba. I believe everybody, once you could be able to speak Yoruba. Although English is also spoken there. For the eastern part, a typical state in the east would be probably Anambra State. And once you are there, everybody expects you to speak Igbo. Yeah. So for the northern part is made up of the Hausa and the Fulani. Yes, so for the northern part, once you're there, they expect you to speak Hausa. So these are the major languages. We also have Efik, we also have Ibibio, and so many other languages. But these three languages I mentioned are the very important and common one. That's Yoruba language, we have the Igbo language, and we also have the Hausa language. Yeah, so for games, everybody loves games, but this 21st century, most people have migrated to their phones, and outdoor games are, I will not say outdated because some people still play it. We have very simple games which are made not just toys but outdoor games as well. Well, I'm sorry I don't have the pictures here. That would have been the best option right now. So I've talked about our languages. That's the English. We speak English, Pidgin English, then Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa. Lest I forget, we also have about 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria. Over 250 ethnic groups. So the costume also differs based on the ethnic group. But for the general, or for the three common ethnic group, we have Yoruba ethnic group, as I said, the Igbo, and the Hausa. I hope you are not all tired. Okay. And I hope you're all following also. Am I audible? All right. Okay, let's carry on then. So for the Yoruba tribe, they popularly wear a top, is known as buba. Then it's worn with a wrapper known as iro and an headgear. So the headgear is known as gele. So this is a typical Yoruba woman dressing. I mean, once you just put that on, instead of identifying yourself, oh, I'm a Yoruba woman, they already know that, oh, this is a Yoruba person, just by the attire. Now, moving on to the Igbo. So the Igbo tribe typically puts on just a top. For the man, a top and a wrapper. The woman as well put on a top, but not just one wrapper now. They use two wrappers for the Igbo woman. Two wrappers with a blouse, then a headgear. Then for the Hausa, they wear what they call, it's popularly known as jalamia. It's very long, it's like a dress, but a straight dress. So they wear it with a cap known as fila. So it's a cap and a long dress. For the women, they wear most times a top, a skirt, and they usually use headgear too, and also a sash. So that's how the Hausa people dress. And to live in Nigeria, depending on the state you're staying, it's always advisable, if you're staying in a state, that you should learn, or at least try to understand the language you're using, the major language there. For example, if you're staying in Lagos, I know I'm using Lagos a lot because that's where I stay. So if you're staying in Lagos, you should know how to speak Yoruba. Yeah. So, and speaking Yoruba give you an edge. For example, you want to get something in the market. And for people, because of this, there was an issue before, so some individuals from the north moved down to Lagos. So to be able to get something from them, it's advisable to speak their language. So if you walk up to an Hausa man today and you speak his language in his dialect, he will definitely sell more things to you than when you speak English. I hope you all get that. So when you walk up to an Hausa man, and even just greeting him good morning in Hausa language is going to give you an extra of whatever you're buying. So that is an edge of learning other language. Even if we're in the same country, we also have various languages, over 500 languages that is spoken. Then for the dance, the dance varies. And again, I'm going to break them down to cultures. So dance varies according to cultures and tribes. Yeah. So for a typical Igbo man, we have this dance called Atilogo dance. Just has to do with acrobatics and many others. We also have this popular Yoruba dance known as Bata. So most time people use it, especially during ceremonies, festivals. This is usually used. Also, I'm going to move down to custom and traditions in Nigeria. And this is also broken down to various ethnic groups. So for the custom in Yoruba land, we have a popular festival known as Egungun Festival. Now this festival, you see, men wearing white, a very white big clothes, and most times parents don't allow children to go out. That they hold a stick, and most times it's just used for dancing, but because children are always scared, and as the name implies, egungun means it's not something that brings pleasure, more like a man pursuing others with a whip. That's what egungun means. Then we also have, for the East, that's for the people living in the East, the Igbo tribe, we have what they call New Yam Festival. This is usually practiced at the end of each year. So once the first harvest of yam is brought together by the community. Yes, and they all throw a party, then they roast the yam and the community eats together. That's for the Igbo tribe. And I also mentioned the Egungun festival for Yoruba tribe. Then we also have special customs. For example, naming ceremony. The naming ceremony in Nigeria is practiced after 7 days of delivery. So peradventure, if a child is born this Saturday, just today, the naming ceremony will be taken next week Saturday. And usually this is a big ceremony. So not just the parent that will be there, we also have friends and well-wishers as well. So this ceremony, we have a typical Nigerian person don't have 2 names. A typical Nigerian person don't have 3 names. From 4 above, so you have just an individual going by about 5 names, 6 names, 7 names. So it's not strange at all because the parents will give their names, the friends also want to give a name, the family members also want to give a name. So by the time you're done accumulating all the names, you have about 5, 6, 7 names, if not more. So that's the typical thing in Nigeria. We also have weddings. In Nigeria, if you want to get married to a Nigerian person, or if a Nigerian person is getting married, you have to go to 3 different weddings. Yeah, 3 different weddings. So the first one we have the traditional wedding. This is very compulsory. The traditional wedding differs according to your tribe. Then after that, we have the court wedding. The court wedding is not require people to attend. Then the final one is the either church wedding or the mosque wedding. So either you do your wedding in church or in the mosque. So these are the 3. You must it's not compulsory, but most weddings are always into 3 different parts. The first one I said the traditional wedding. The second one is the court wedding. The third one is the church or the mosque wedding. So that is a typical Nigeria wedding setting. Then we also know that there's something called after childbirth. It has different, it means different things in other languages. But for a typical Igbo tribe, it is called Omugo. For Yoruba child, it is called, can't remember the Yoruba name, call it. So, but this practice is done after the woman has given birth. The mother of the woman or the mother-in-law, that's the husband's mother, have to come to the house and take care of the mother and her baby for about, sometimes you can stay for a month. They have to bath the baby, dress the baby, take care of the mother. Most times they cook, they clean the house just to make the new mother comfortable. So that's the afterbirth care. Then we also have a typical Nigerian ceremony. There's something they do that's popularly done, which is spraying money. When you go out to dance, or let me give a typical example. In the marriage ceremony, and when they call the couple in, so whether dancing or walking, whatever way, most times when they dance in, you see people getting up to spray money on them. Some people have to go to the bank, get money and spray. So it is not something that is maybe strange. It's a norm in Nigerian party. If you go to a party where they don't spray money, sometimes people always, what is going on here? But typical wedding ceremony is to spray a lot of money on not just the participants, but mostly the celebrants of that party. So also there's also this culture or custom, I would say, of greeting elders. So it varies according to tribe again. The typical Yoruba greeting will be for a lady, as a lady in the Yoruba home, you have to kneel down to greet any elder, either your parent or someone outside. You have to kneel down. Then for the male, they have to prostrate. Prostrating is just like lying down for the elder. That's for the male. Then we also have for the I think it's Yoruba tribe that has a very strict greeting style. But for the Igbo or the Hausa, they just most times they just shake their hands and that's all. Then before I move on or move away from the custom and traditions, I hope we are all listening. Can we all hear me? Right. Okay, so a typical thing in Nigerian community, I'll call it community now, use of right hand. They don't use left hand. I've gotten situations when I've been slapped because I used left hand to give an elder something. So a typical Nigerian child should not use left hand to give an elder something. Or for example, you're trying to present food to an elder, you're trying to give an elder money, and you're using your left hand. Most times they will not collect it. So you either use your right hand or you use both left and right. So you cannot just use your left hand. It's like a taboo, especially for women, So I'm just going to move over to tourist centers in Nigeria. So we have so many tourist centers in Nigeria. We have beaches, we have parks, we have game reserves, we have zoos, we have springs. The popular spring is Ikogosi Warm Spring, and it's located at Ekiti. So that's for the game reserve. We also have a popular one known as Yankari Game Reserve. So for buildings, most big buildings are found in the cities. For Abuja, I remember I told you, Abuja is the capital of Nigeria. For Abuja, we have the Senate building. We have, even in Lagos, we have the CBN branch here in Lagos. Then we also have so many other buildings. We also have libraries, e-libraries that have massive architecture in quotes. For authors and artists in the country, we have so many authors, so many artists. Just going to mention a few ones. For writers, we have Chimamanda Adichie. She's in and Wole Soyinka. They are Nobel Prize artists. So we also have other ones, other writers. We have painters. We have sculpture artists, and so many of them. We also have large shopping malls, and these shopping malls are actually, most of them, not all, but most of them are located also in the city. So most of these shopping malls are also located in the city. Then for food is something that is always talked about. So the food in Nigeria also differs according to states, according to dialect, I would say, dialects and tribes. So for Yoruba family, the common dish there is swallow. And when I mean swallow, I mean you have a typical food like semo and egusi soup. For an Igbo man, you can abacha. Then for Hausa, popular food known as, so there's a popular food known as so there's a popular food known as,
I'm sorry, Mary, 1 minute. Mandir, can you mute your audio?
In Nigeria. We also have drinks. We have general drinks, but I'll just limit the ones that are, I'll just say the ones that are limited to Nigerians. We have a drink known as Zobo drink. We have Kunu. Kunu is general. I mean, everybody knows Kunu. Then we also have palm wine. Now, this palm wine is just for, is an alcoholic drink, but it's made from a natural palm tree. So if the palm wine is left for about 2-3 days, it becomes fermented, then becomes alcoholic. Other than that, it's used in ceremonies like weddings, naming ceremonies, that's for children after birth, and so many other things. So for wildlife in Nigeria, still going back to Yankari Game Reserve. So we have other game reserves around the country. So we have the Kanji Natural Park as well. Then we also have zoos. We have so many zoos around the country. Um, for animals, there are also animals, both wild and domestic animals. Uh, if you're looking for the most popular animal in the country, if mosquito is under popular animals, the type of animals, then I guess mosquito will be the most popular animal in the country. But except from that, we have dogs, cats, ants, and so many others. They're also wild animals, but most of them are not same. We also have monkeys, yes, monkeys. We have baboons and so many other animals. So I guess I'll end it here. I hope I haven't bored you guys. So thank you so much for listening. I hope I was also audible and I was not too fast. I also give room for questions. So if you have any question at all, please, the room is open for questions. Thank you so much.
If you guys have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask Mary for anything you want to say.
Hi, Mary.
Hello.
Hi. So I have one question for you. Since you have been working with us since a few weeks now, so you must have like picked up on some like culture, like some culture or some traits that we Indians have. So do you see any similarity between your like the Nigerian culture and the Indian culture? Like anything which is similar?
Yes. Well, in terms of culture, I told you before that the culture differs according to tribe. So there are some things that some tribes will allow that other tribes cannot. So, but a typical thing is respect. Yeah, respect is a very, and also in terms of greeting and respect to elders. So still going back to respect and greetings. So that's from what I've observed. Yeah. So I guess that's it. Any other question?
Hello, ma'am. Hello. I
Yes, I
have a
can hear you.
question. Okay. Are there many famous artists or authors based in your country?
Sorry, can you be more audible,
Are
please?
there many famous artists or authors based in your country?
Yes, they are.
Thanks, ma'am. Can you mention some
We
names,
have
ma'am,
contemporary
so
artists.
that we could just know?
It depends. For the artists we have, is it under the music category or other ones?
I think
Is it for the musicians? The artists you're talking about, is it for the musicians
Yeah, ma'am.
or other artists? Okay, for the musicians we have also, it's divided into various groups. We have the general musicians. We have musicians like Wizkid, I think is the most popular. Yeah, we have Wizkid. Um, I don't really listen to their music, so most of them I don't know their name. We have music. We have the band. We have Olamide. We have Silver Savage, so on and so forth. Then we also have religious singers. That's also another aspect. But for the one you're asking, we have Whiskey, as I mentioned. We have Tiwa Savage. We have The Bunch. We have Olamide and so many others.
Okay, ma'am. Thank
I
you
hope
so
I
much.
answered your question.
Yeah, ma'am. Here.
Hi, Mary. Just a small request. Can you teach us something in your language? Like probably hello, how are you?
Okay. So actually from two different ethnic groups. So I'm from Igbo tribe. That's from the east. I'm also from the west. I'm also partly from the north. So I'm right there. So I'm just going to tell you each of them. So for the Yoruba, if you're greeting good morning, you say ekaro. And
Eha.
if you're greeting an elderly ekaro, if you're greeting an elderly person, you definitely have to kneel down. So yes, ekaro. For afternoon, ekason. Then for evening, ekale.
Okay.
For an
How do you
Igbo
say?
person, what? I didn't get that. Sorry.
How are you?
How did
How do
I
you?
say? For a typical Yoruba person, you say bawoni. How are you doing? Bawoni.
Okay.
So yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So I'm mostly good in Yoruba than in Igbo. So pardon me for that. Then we also have the Hausa Fulani tribe as well. So I have to learn the Hausa language because I want to rapport with people that sell so that we're able to get more goods. Yeah, so that's the point. Thank you so much. Any other question?
If Mary, if we were to come to Nigeria, what specific dishes would you like tell us to like try? Like it's you have to try it.
That's a tough question, but it's depending on where you want to be. We have some parts that are very hot. We have some parts that are very cold. For a typical cold part, we have Jos. But if you want to come for the heat, then I think you can come to the north or the south. Lagos is a good place to be. Abuja is a good place to be. Um, Although there are other places in other states that are very, welcoming as well. But for the one I know, I guess Lagos is very broad in terms of um, tourist centers. They have more tourist centers. So I guess Lagos will be the place then. Then other places are also not left out. But for my own opinion, yeah, it's Lagos we do.
Hello, Mums ma'am. We came to know much more about the Nigeria. My children are prepared with some questions. Can they raise the questions to you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Swikriti, you are ready with the questions, Swikriti?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to ask one question. In your country, what is the most popular food?
Oh, so the most popular food would have to be jollof rice, generally. Yeah.
Jello. Can you tell again, please?
Okay, you didn't get my answer.
Yes, ma'am.
I said, okay. I said the most popular food in Nigeria is jollof rice or rice generally, but most times it's jollof rice.
Okay, jello rice. Like
Yes,
how
jollof.
it is? Like, it's sweet or like spicy?
Yes. I mean, a typical Nigerian would pick jollof rice over any other food. So it's made of rice with other spices. So it's most times orange in color. Yeah,
Okay.
yes. So I'm going to type out the name so you can always check it on Google for
Okay.
just like jollof rice. Yeah.
Okay. It's like it is made of rice and like it
Made
is
of rice. Yeah,
orange color and it's spicy.
it's very spicy. Very spicy.
And like our most popular food in our country is like momos and like that. I think that most popular food is in like in my country like momos because everybody loves momos in our country.
Wow, that's great. And I would like to try that one day.
Okay, and it's like in white color, and inside it is filling. Like we can eat with the chicken also, or we can eat like veg. We can put some carrots and eat. Like there are lots, like different types of momos. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Anybody else from Nepal? Are you ready with the questions? Anyone wants to ask the questions?
Excuse me.
Okay. Arnav, you want to raise the questions? Go ahead.
What is the popular festival in your country?
Okay. So for the popular festival in the country, for the south, we have the Ego Festival. For the east, we have the New Yam Festival. Yes. So the festival also differs. Most festivals are done at the end of the year. Some meet maybe July, August, but most of them are always December, January.
In our
Did I answer
country,
your question?
the most popular festival is Dasai and Tihar.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, thank you so much. Now this is up okay for us. Now anybody have a questions? Now your turn, please.
Hi, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, apparently now with the modern urbanization going on, many people want to break away from traditional culture. So what do you do in Nigeria, like to make sure people are still in touch with their traditional culture and at the same time progress further for the future?
Okay, thank you. For that, that's why most times there's what they call the national celebration. People come, for example, they go home at the end of the year. Most, if you're from the north and you're staying in the south, at the end of the year you should go home. So, and also they try to inculcate languages, because most times you are not always staying where you're from. If you are from the east, you're not always, most people from the east are not even born in the east, some are born in the south. So it's up to their parents to, still teach them that dialect. But we also practice for festivals. We have festivals that go on. So by the time your ethnic group is partaking in, or having such festival, is not compulsory, but it's like a necessity for you to go over there to celebrate with them. That's how the culture has been written over time. Culture, customs, traditions, and so on.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Joyce.
Ma'am, can I ask now? Ma'am, can I ask now a question?
Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead.
you can.
When's your birthday?
When it's my,
He's asking when is your birthday?
oh wow, November 20, yeah, the 20th of November. And yours? When is your own birthday?
And my birthday is December. I don't know the date, but I know the date. It is on
It's in
Wednesday, but
December.
I don't know the date.
So we are not far from each other then. November, December. That's great.
May I chip in with a question? Uh, oh, okay. So, Mary, on your birthday, how do Nigerians typically celebrate your birthday? Do you celebrate your birthday? Like, what do you do?
It's up to an individual in the country to celebrate. Most times they mark the, how am I going to put it? For example, when you're, for older adults, we have when you're 40, when you're 50, 60, 70, 80, like that. So most times they throw a big party, invite friends. But for a typical student, for example, I'll use myself in a college or university. Most times they just invite their friends, they go out, sometimes they just get cakes, sweets, and so many of things. So it's depending on how you want to go all out. If you want to go all the way out, it's fine. And if you want to do a small party, some people don't even celebrate at all. So it's a personal thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I have a question.
All right, Karen.
What are the different accessories that women wear in Nigeria? Like, is there a specific name?
For their dressing.
Yeah.
Okay. For a typical Nigerian woman, if it's for traditional wear, for a Yoruba woman, she wears a buba and the wrapper known as iro. So, but it differs. A typical one will be for a wedding ceremony. We have what is known as ashofi or ashoki. So this is what is used for a wedding ceremony. Then for an Igbo woman, we have a normal blouse, then wrapper. So the wrapper can be two. Sometimes they use one, but most times it's always two wrappers. Then the headgear. But for the Hausa woman stays in the north. Not all, but most of them. Yeah. So she wears a blouse, skirt, or wrapper. She always ties her hair. A typical Hausa woman covers her hair. They use sash or another scarf, extra scarf for neck. So is that clear, Karen?
Yeah, thank you.
Ma'am, can I ask one question?
Yes, sure.
Do Nigerian people pray in the morning?
Do never people, Nigerian people pray
In the morning? In the morning?
in the morning?
I hope I got your question right. So do we pray in the morning?
You pray in the, like, Nigerians pray a lot or in the morning?
Yes. We have generally two religions, or let's say three. So we have the Christian, we have the Muslim, and we also have traditional worshippers. So we have for the Christian, we have either quiet time or general family devotion, where the family come together and pray in the morning. Then you also have your quiet time that you pray in the morning. Then for the Muslims, you have to wake up. They call it, you have to wake up to pray, your family. So that's for the Muslims. Then we also have the traditional worshippers. They also, I guess, they pray in the morning. Yeah. So, but generally, people wake up to pray in the morning. The time is not specific, but yeah, prayers.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
May I ask you something also?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Is there something that you'd like to be, is there something that is there to be improved in your country? Anything, like any change you want?
Yes, sure. A lot of things need to be improved in the country. We have the educational system. Can you hear me? So we have the educational system needs a lot of improvement. Then we also have infrastructures. We have electricity, generally basic amenities, good road, electricity, good water supply. Although this might not be general, but there are some specific places in the country that needs those things. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Anything you want to talk about? We can unmute and continue.
So I guess I've not heard from some. I haven't heard from Navina. Navina, can you hear me? I haven't heard your voice at all.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah. What are some means of entertainment in your country? What do you do for entertainment?
It varies, but mostly music, dance, and party. Yeah, party. Might not just be whether naming ceremony or wedding parties, but sometimes some people just throw party just to celebrate. It might even be a new house, or some people celebrate maybe getting a car. So the party differs, but mostly through music and dancing. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Kiran. Hi.
Yeah, when would be the best time to visit Nigeria?
The best time to visit Nigeria will be from November through to February, because that's when there will be no rainfall, so the road will be it's good, and that's the dry season. That period between November and February is a dry season, so I think that will be the best time. Although it is always very cold during that time, especially November, December, it is always very cold, but it's also a dry season that everybody enjoys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Actually, Anu ma'am had to leave for another meeting. So, ma'am, I would like to tell you and your students from Nepal, thank you for attending this session. And it was really interactive and a lot of fun. Thank you so much for attending the session, ma'am, and all of
Thank you
you.
so much. Might be my students are very young. They are less for your group, but they feel very excited to join with the youth groups. They all are inspired by all of you. Thank you so much. Next time, I think we have cultural exchange programs with your organization, so that our student will going to participate, sir, and have got presentations about our country next time. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
yes, ma'am. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ma'am,
Bye.
bye. Bye bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Bye, thank you. Bye bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am. Nice to meet you.
Nice.
Nice to meet you.
I'm so pleased to meet
Nice
you,
to
everybody.
meet you.
Any of
Thank you
you,
so much. Yeah, thank you so much.
thank you. Any of you want to continue or give a feedback for the session? How it was? You guys enjoyed it?
Yeah, KJ, can I give my feedback?
Yeah, yeah, please.
Yeah, so this was our first ever Adore India meeting, and it was such an great honor to understand Nigeria's very diverse culture. The questions covered were pretty expansive, and and it's good to understand and try to mingle with people from different cultures, and I really hope we get to meet more people like you. Thank you, Mary, for spending time with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Anybody else? Is sir still there? No, sir. Anjali, would you like to say something?
Yes. Thank you so much, Mary, for sharing, and all the questions and everything was so nice of the kids. I mean, they're super adorable. And
Thank you for listening. I mean, I should thank you all for listening for this. I mean, it took a while. Yeah.
no, we had a lot of fun in listening because that's how we understand more about each other without coming there. Keja, that's all.
Would you like to say something? No?
Yongchuan, would you like to say?
Yeah, I'd like to also express gratitude to both Mary and Adore India for like hosting this session and then delivering all these interesting knowledge, because I have to admit, I haven't really known about Nigerian culture before this session, so it's like very eye-opening to me, and I believe that it's the same for a lot of people. So thank you so much for telling us about all those insights and detailed information.
So thank you so much, Mary. I think it was a great session for all of us. We got to learn a lot more about Nigeria, and that too, not just from like a Wikipedia page. Like it was first-hand experience, first-hand knowledge from you. So thank you so much for taking time and spending time with all of us. And thank you all of you for taking some time out from your day-to-day activity and joining this session. So next week we'll have a talk on Taiwan. We're really looking forward to that. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you for joining.
Giving us this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.